TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom ve'erev tov, good evening. Welcome to our daily TV7 Israel News Bulletin, broadcast from Jerusalem. President Donald Trump asserts that the U.S. military is achieving major strides toward completing Washington's objectives. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu emphasizes that the future of Iran's leadership depends on whether the Iranian people seize the opportunity to achieve liberty. And the IDF ratchets up its offensive against the Iranian-proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon. The United States and Israel are making significant progress in degrading the Islamic Republic of Iran's offensive and defensive capabilities significantly faster than initially anticipated. Addressing the significant achievements, President Donald Trump highlighted the significant drop in the Ayatollah regime's ability to launch ballistic missiles and one-way attack drones.
We're achieving major strides toward completing our military objective. And some people could say they're pretty well complete. We've wiped every single force in Iran out very completely. Most of Iran's naval power has been sunk. It's on the bottom of the sea. It's almost 50 ships. I was just notified it's 51 ships. I didn't know they had that many. Didn't last very long. And these are fighting vessels. They're meant to fight, but they're not meant to fight against us. We continue to target Iran's drone and missile capabilities. Their drones are way down. Their drone manufacturing's been hit starting today. We know all of the places they manufacture the drones, and they're being hit one after another. Their missile capability is down to about 10%, maybe less. We're also hitting where they make missiles and where they deliver missiles. We've struck over 5,000 targets to date, some of them very major targets, and we've left some of the most important targets for later in case we need to do it. If we hit them, it's going to take many years for them to be rebuilt, having to do with electricity production and many other things. So we're not looking to do that if we don't have to. But they're the kind of things that are very easy to hit, but very devastating if they are hit. We are waiting to see what happens before we hit them. We could take them all out in one day, but it's all resulting in a 90% decline in various things, but in particular, Iranian missile launchers and 83% drop in drone launchers. As you know, the drone launchers are pretty well shot, but we're at over 90% decline in the Iranian missile launchers, which is very hard to reproduce and very hard to get. And usually what we were able to do through great equipment, a lot of smart people, as soon as they sent a missile up from a launcher, we were able to knock out that launcher within a period of 5 minutes or less, accurately, right on the noggin.
President Trump also addressed threats by the Ayatollah regime's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps to block the Strait of Hormuz, through which over 20% of global oil markets transit daily, and the IRGC's deliberate targeting of energy infrastructure of neighboring Arab countries.
As we continue Operation Epic Fury, we're also focused on keeping energy and oil flowing to the world. And I will not allow a terrorist regime to hold the world hostage and attempt to stop the globe's oil supply. And if Iran does anything to do that, they'll get hit at a much, much harder level. I will take out those targets that were easy and that I mentioned just before. We'll take them out so quickly, they'll never be able to recover, ever. If they want to play that game, they better not play that game. In the long run, oil supplies will be dramatically more secure without the threat of Iranian ships, drones, missiles, nuclear menace, or anything. So the Strait of Hormuz is going to remain safe. We have a lot of Navy ships there. We have the best equipment in the world, inspecting for mines. Again, most of their ships are down at the bottom of the sea, but we will hit them so hard that it will not be possible for them or anybody else helping them to ever recover that section of the world.
It is worth highlighting that the Ayatollah regime has signaled that it aims to exploit the Strait of Hormuz for its own strategic interests.
The Strait of Hormuz is one of the strategic waterways of our country. It is one of the geographically Allah-given resources that the country possesses, by the grace that Allah has granted our country. The good thing is that when the country is in a state of war, maximum use of all resources must take place.
The Ayatollah regime further announced that the newly selected Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, will persist in his father's footsteps.
The selection of His Excellency, Ayatollah Sayyid Mojtaba Khamenei, means that the general policies of the system, the same policies that have been pursued, will continue, and we will move forward along the path of Iran's strength.
According to Israeli ambassador to France, Yosh Zalka, who formerly headed the Israeli Foreign Ministry Strategic Division, if the newly selected Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic adopts the same line as his father, he too shall be eliminated.
They have chosen someone. We do not know what his actual condition is. We do not know exactly what his aims are, what his relations with the Revolutionary Guard are, etc. But what we know is that we have already eliminated his chief of staff even before he was chosen, before Mojtaba was officially chosen. But we also know that if he continues to have the same line as his father, he will also be on a list of those who should be eliminated.
Ambassador Zalka further revealed that the joint American-Israeli campaign is indeed progressing faster than anticipated.
How many weeks, exactly? I cannot tell you. It depends on the operations. But what I can tell you is that we are ahead of schedule, of where we thought we would be at this point.
Meanwhile, in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, during a meeting at the Health Ministry's Command and Control, highlighted that the future of Iran is in the hands of the Iranian people, who are effectively offered a once-in-a-lifetime window of opportunity to regain the liberty they so ardently aspire for.
Our aspiration is to enable the Iranian people to cast off the yoke of tyranny. Ultimately, it is up to them. But there is no doubt that through the actions taken so far, we are breaking their bones and we are still active. If we succeed together with the Iranian people, we will bring about a permanent end to the extent that such things exist in the lives of nations. We will bring about change, and we are already bringing about a massive shift in Israel's international standing.
Prime Minister Netanyahu further addressed the resilience of the Israeli public and also the caregivers who are showcasing long fortitude in the face of prolonged adversity.
A large part of this struggle is on the offensive side, but an enormous part is on the defensive side. The defensive side is, first and foremost, the will of the people and the strength of the citizens. The strength of the citizens is also the strength of those who care for the citizens, and that is you. The public's faith that they are being cared for, which is very robust, is thanks to you.
Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Forces, alongside U.S. Central Command, continue to degrade the Islamic Republic of Iran.
חיל האוויר המשיך לאורך היום בתקיפת מטרות של המשטר האיראני. בטהרן
Throughout the day, the Air Force continued to attack Iranian regime targets in 3 areas simultaneously in Tehran, Isfahan, and southern Iran. Over the past 10 days, we have harmed and undermined the Iranian terrorist regime. Since the beginning of the operation, the IDF has eliminated more than 1,900 regime soldiers and commanders and wounded thousands more. We have many more targets. This is an ongoing effort. We are deepening the severe damage to all layers and structures of the regime. Even at these moments, the Air Force planes are attacking in Iran. In a significant attack by Air Force aircraft, we destroyed the Quds Force's transport system. As part of the attack, we attacked and destroyed 16 transport planes, which were operating on behalf of the Revolutionary Guards. These planes were part of a transfer route of weapons and money to the regime's proxies throughout the Middle East. Since the beginning of the operation, we have attacked 6 military airports across Iran. We continue to strike the regime's strategic capabilities and its terror axis. At the same time, the Air Force continues to hunt down Iranian missile launcher cells in real time. Each such strike allows us to reduce the threat of fire against Israel.
In parallel to the ongoing campaign against the Ayatollah regime in Iran, The IDF is also degrading Iran's proxy in Lebanon, which launches dozens of rockets and unmanned aerial vehicles towards northern Israel in deliberate and indiscriminate attempts to target civilian communities.
בלבנון אנחנו ממשיכים בהגנה קדמית על תושבי ויישובי...
In Lebanon, we persist with our forward defense, defending the residents and communities of the north. Northern Command is leading a significant offensive effort against Hezbollah around the clock. So far, we have attacked more than 700 Hezbollah targets, of which over 100 targets belong to the Radwan force, Hezbollah's main terrorist force. We have hit more than 50 targets in Beirut, of which 35 were high-rise buildings. Buildings that served as the organization's terror infrastructure in the heart of the civilian population. During the night, forces of the 7th Brigade, under the command of the 36th Division, carried out a targeted raid in the southern Lebanon area. The forces are locating terror infrastructure and eliminate terrorists who were identified in the area. The operation is continuing even during these hours. This raid, along with other operations, enable us to protect the communities.
מאפשרת לנו לחזק את ההגנה על היישובים.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News, which is made possible by the generosity of our viewers. If you would like to help support TV7 Israel, which is exclusively donation-based, as we aim to update you on the latest and decipher the most complex issues related to Israel, the Middle East, and beyond, you can donate via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately, please keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem and redemption of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hessen wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, until our next update, Shalom from Jerusalem.